Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity we have of doing the community service, Lord. We pray that you be with each of us, help us with the decisions that are made, continue to work throughout the city and help us grow together and grow in the community. Continue to watch over each of us, give us the wisdom that we need to do our duties. Lord, we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Can I get approval of the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Can I get the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting and executive session of Monday, June 17th, 2024?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Citizens Business Verbal, number 1, Mundell Airport Forward Hangar Project.
Hello, Don Cooksey on behalf of the airport board and the company, Tuff Streeter, your airport manager, and other board members, Al Parks and Bob Severa. You'll never guess what we want. We have a report on the hangar construction project that we've been working on for a while. It's had its ups and downs and trials and tribulations, but as we're now about to the end of the day, we have an engineer's recommendation off the bids that were open almost a month ago now. Things being what they are with the economy and all, it's probably no surprise that they came in like $300,000 over. The bid was $300,000 more than the money we were talking about the day we came in and first presented this to you. The other side of the coin is we've located that $300 some odd in funds that's available to us if we can get on it. The challenge with that is we need to come up with our local match for that, which to y'all is $4,648.89. Will be to the county commissioners about the same thing in the morning. I got additional sales points if necessary.
Go for it.
I'm sorry?
Go for it.
Yeah, they're necessary.
The way this turns out for $3,672 from you guys, we build a hangar stall that's $170,000, worth $170,000, or costs us $170,000 to build. So it brings a lot of money into the community. Yes, sir, Mr. Bob? I was just gonna. Moral support, thank you. So it brings the money into the community, and everything we can buy locally, we will buy locally. They're planning on using local concrete, staying in hotels and buying all the expenses here. So most of that money is going to stay right here in Weston County, city of Newcastle, and then you'll have an asset that lasts for a long, long time.
Maybe to clarify things, so that when we first came to you over a year ago now, which was a year and a half, the original amount was $1,113,000. That was projected. And your match of that would have been $22,000. At that time, you guys agreed, okay, yeah, you could do that. So we submitted budgeting of that for you. Well, when we actually come out to, let's go for bids, the first bid we got, the hangars, was almost $1.6 million. And we said, we know we can't swing that. So we got our engineers and the bidding contractor to knock it down. So they knocked it down almost $300,000. So that we come down, our original bid, request was $1,113,000, or now it's $1,469,000, I think something will change. That's where you initially agreed to $22,000, now the distance is 29.
Actually, it was 24,
24, excuse me,
which is the $4,000 difference.
24. So the difference between 24.
$4,600.
Excuse me?
$4,600 difference.
That's right.
That's what we need from you today.
Yeah, that's where we, yeah. To get the project to go for 8 hangars at 1.49, 1.469 and change. After that big a number, I lose the last 3.
Your Honor, I move that we approve this $4,600 increase.
We're asking Stacy if we have the money, and she's not, so.
So what was the total dollar amount?
$1,648.89. Increase.
It'd be 29,000.
Went from 24 to 29, yes.
24 to 20.
There's a sheet in there that they provided us.
Oh, yeah, I skipped
Oh,
that.
for $4,600, we don't want to miss out on that kind of a hang.
So,
Well, I think I did not.
If you think about the cost of a hangar, it's between $60,000 and $70,000, and we're buying 2 for an additional 48.
So I second the motion, so we can go into discussion.
so we have a motion and second, any further discussion?
So I just didn't know if we needed to include the entire dollar amount in the motion.
What would you do if we didn't?
Well, sell some cans, have a raffle, rent out one of my kids,
Bake sale.
sell kittens, bake sales, good one.
We've thought about even pre-buying or pre-selling hangar, pre-renting hangars. If someone wants a hangar and give them, say, okay, say it's $125 a month rent, and they could pre-buy a hangar for the $4,800 for 5 years.
Better to come up with the $4,600 on it,
Yeah.
than it is to do all that.
There's,
We have to keep
we have looked at a lot of different ways and realized that, first of all, because we're an entity that reports to you and the commissioners, we have to present this to you as options. And then hopefully you appreciate that. I'm tooting my horn and our horn. We've put a lot of time and sweat in this. I can't tell you how many, you guys have, what, 2 meetings a month? In the last 6 weeks alone from the airport board, I've been to 5 meetings on this. And that's free gratis. I do it on my own. So we've put a lot upon this. This is not something that we just kicked out there and said, man, let's just go for it. And when it came back to that original bid that floored us, that's when we said, no, we need something. So this is the best something that we can come up with.
This, in my mind, is a small dollar amount based on what you've been able to come up with that 1.4 million. in
Yes.
contributions. Do you have any, I guess, what you call for revenue that you would get back into the infrastructure for that 1.4?
We do. There'll be rent for each stall every month, or by the year, however we do it. That'll go back in, we anticipate that to go back into the general fund. I think that's the way it would be as well.
You know, just over the last probably 15 years, I've seen what you guys have done out there in that facility. But you know, there's always people asking, well, what's that airport do for us? But they don't see that continual growth that that's going on out
You
there.
know, there's been things happen, last week, when I was there was somebody showed up in a big jet, cost like $1 gazillion, the guy got out, got in the Suburban and away he went. I don't know what he was doing, but it wasn't just a cheeseburger and Coke downtown, he had something serious in mind.
Yeah.
And we've also had, like I said, calls from the FAA about airlines or airplanes that have had in-flight emergencies with icing up, bringing commissions that they've got them to Newcastle because the facilities there, the length of the runway, the approach line means the ILS and stuff like that. So a lot of things that happen out there, you're right, people don't see them.
I know at you guys' last board meeting that you talked about how you were gonna try to relay some of this information to the newspaper and let people know what's going on out at the airport, so maybe some of them.
It's a real nice facility you all have funded over the years, and I know we appreciate it, but something came up a while back, got me looking around, and there is not an airport with our kind of capability nearby. Custer, Lusk, Edge Mount, South Dakota, no, you gotta go to Rapid City, Gillette, and Casper to come up with a facility that'll let you land.
It has a runway.
Yeah, that's what we have. That's important for getting going again.
Yeah.
Can I come out and take a look, get like a tour?
Oh, yes.
In fact, it's in September, we're having an open house. A flying open house.
September 7th,
September 2nd.
pancake
We
breakfast.
will buy you a breakfast.
Yeah, buy your breakfast.
What time does that start?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
So, I mean, when are you guys do you guys think our facility could facilitate an air show? Or
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
the flying?
Flying,
In
yeah.
September, we're not planning on the Blue Angels just yet. But it'll be a little aviation day, advanced day.
We had one last year, and I think we had 24 to 3,000, 30 airplanes.
We've had 2 or 3 now in a row, and then before that, there were some, but I don't think they were necessarily an annual event.
That was always a good time when I was a kid. My dad was an aviator, so we were at the air shows a lot.
But what kind of a youth program do you have or are you gonna have? Because it was, years ago, we went to the high schools and we talked to people and about getting them out and we had a little club actually of teenagers. And they were all over, 16 or over.
Is that the Bob Henry thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna make them kids look. But what we have is there's a Young Eagles program,
Say that again?
a Young Eagles program.
Eagles.
And they will show up for events like we're having in September and give rides to the kids and introduce them to everybody. It's kind of a structured event.
We need more pilots. We need them in pilot training.
We'll dust off your card and let's go.
Well, I have to dust that one off. It's been a while.
Well, the motion on the floor is to increase our previous amount from $24,733.50 with $4,648.89 to make it $29,382.39. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay,
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Get a youth program. Team pilot.
We're all over it.
Okay, I can tell.
All right, Mr. Perkins, motorcycle parking and open container.
Evening. Well, yeah, it's the summertime again. Here comes rally. It's just normal. I'd like to get motorcycle parking in the middle, like Sumner to Summit. Blocked off and everything, from the 1st of August to the 15th. Rally starts on the 2nd, and I believe it goes like to the 14th this year, maybe the 13th. That way, we got plenty of parking and there's no problem.
Can we move it down to Railroad? Because I know a lot.
We did it last year, I just wasn't sure about it this year, but we can go to railroad. I mean, it's up to you,
I
it doesn't
know a
work.
lot of them stop there for breakfast and
And that was a regular thing for over the years, you know. Been a lot of motorcycles coming in over there. So railroad to Summit,
Sumner.
Sumner, excuse me.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Railroad in the summer,
And that would be through the 1st and to the 15th.
And then that's also relaxing the open container lot during that time frame.
Yeah, I thought it was two different issues, so I was just bringing this up. And then I was gonna bring the other one up.
Oh, I move that we,
Well, the relaxing of the container is just for my tables out front during that time period.
Yeah.
And always, it's just like a 8x30, 3 or 4 tables. People can come in and sit and have lunch and have a beer. And, yeah, we'd like to get an open container there for the front of that. And we're gonna be opening it up at 10 o'clock. All right, and usually lunch is all over with by 3. All the bikers are where they wanna be at for the evening by then. You know, we usually take all the tables up and everything about that time.
And is it the same dates, the first week of the
Yep.
I'd move
They
that,
know that they have to stay right there.
Oh, yeah, we got little signs on the tables and everything, you know, open containers only at the tables.
I move that we, allow for motorcycle parking from Railroad to Sumner from the 1st to the 15th. And also that the, open container lot be, relaxed from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. In front of Perkins Tavern.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
You only want it until 3 p.m., Mr. Perkins?
That's about normal, because that's when the traffic really just drops off. We pick up the tables, and once we pick up the tables, we don't need the open container or anything.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
All right, thank you. I need to ask, it's not on the agenda, I didn't get on the agenda for it, but it's about my permit that I got for the First Northern. Now that event permit's been put in and for it, I was just wondering about the open container for that. And
That
then-
would be from what, 3 in the afternoon until 9 at night?
I don't know, see, well, I got the container, catering permit from, 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning till the next day because
Yeah.
it's 24 hours. I just don't know the parameters. Yeah?
So that's not, I gave you pretty ones. You didn't get one of my pretty ones?
No, that's what I got.
Did you get them?
Yes, thanks.
That's what we got.
Okay,
So you probably want it from Warwick
Oh.
to Maine
okay, so you're blocking off completely Main Street,
to Seneca, I think.
to Seneca. Okay, I see, I didn't know the complete block off. And you're blocking off also the main intersection right there on Main Street that goes down to the bank. For this whole area with the farmer's market and everything, I would like to get open container also.
So from Warwick to Main Street and Main Street, or no, yep, to Sumner to Warwick.
Right,
Okay, so kind of like that L shape.
yeah, this whole area. I think they're gonna have us set up right over here with the food area, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And, so that's, and there's gonna be plastic cups, and cakes, and so there's not gonna be any glass or cans or anything. Yeah, I could even put out a few extra trash cans if needed, I don't know what they arranged. But yes, if we can get the open container for this area,
Were you thinking Bloody Mary?
I'll have plenty available, yes, ma'am.
From 8 a.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning.
That's what I just got the catering permit for because that's how it's broken up. I'm sure it's not gonna go that far. I would go from say like 8 AM and what time of facility or?
Well, we have the
It's on
band
that front
doing,
page.
the band's shut down at 9.
No, your starts, the band starts at 9.
No, it's shutting down at
Oh, I
9.
was gonna say.
At 9 AM or 9 PM?
9 PM. Yeah, the band's gonna go all night, it's an all-nighter.
So that would be like the 12 midnight.
Yeah, well, 3 to 9 is what we need to open containers.
3 to 9?
Yes.
This is gonna be.
See, I was gonna set up, I'd like to go a little bit more than that, maybe go to 12, because that would cover the lunch hour.
Okay.
And that's where mainly you're gonna get your traffic to the farmer's market and everything would be that time too. So if we can go say 12 to,
Be down.
midnight,
Is it all gonna be closed off by then though?
The street will stop being, we've asked for the streets to be stopped at 9:30, right?
Yeah, if I remember correct, Councilman, I believe it was 1 PM to close the street, open back up at like 9:30.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait till it's closed at 1.
okay. So 1. So, say 9:30 is, but where's the band? Is the band in just right in front of the bank?
It's on there. It's kind of like kitty corner by the library and
And that's,
in that.
Yeah, station, okay. See, that's the area that would,
You just
So-
do that L shape.
yeah, just in that L shape. So that would be from 1 PM?
yeah,
1 PM till, and the band you said is gonna go till when?
9:30. Well, 9:30 is when they're gonna take the street back up.
9:30 is when everything's gonna get picked up. So I would say with that pickup, we go to 10. That's we can shut everything off, and get everything off the streets too. So 1 PM to 10 PM. Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I move we approve an open container for the, for the One Summer Nights concert with the First Northern Bank on the 12th of July from 1 PM in the afternoon to 10 PM that evening.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
No, I hope it's a great event. I hope
so too. I'm just catering. Yeah, I'm just catering.
It was great last
It was
year.
great.
I didn't have anything to do with the organizing, but it was very good that last year.
Well, it went really well. We had over 600 people show up for that last year.
I know that the caterer had to go back and get more food. They ran out.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, while we're on this, can I clarify one thing? Are you closing that night?
Nope.
Okay, then the band is not gonna be in the middle of the street. We have a deal with him that if he's open, we move over to that parking lot where the bank has always had us. So we don't intend to have a band in the middle of the street blowing right into his door. That's just not right. So that's what we're saying.
Can you get a new map for everyone?
Yes, I can, and they're all downstairs, and they're right underneath the desk, and they're all in color.
Okay.
That's them.
Where was it?
Yeah, it shows, and it says right down there, that if the,
Still be close to the food vendors.
oh, yeah, it shouldn't move. It shouldn't have to move, really.
All right, cool. Thank you.
I'm glad you had the colored ones. I was getting all nervous. You missed my artwork and everything. Okay.
Moving on, we have,
When governments pay us to get the word out, governments pay us, but we actually work for the public. And so it's a tough spot we're in because we have to piss off our own clients, basically. The people who sign the checks we get in fights with because we're fighting for the public. And I don't know. All I can do is say that we just got to keep doing what we do and hope that governments, especially in election year, governments need to trust the professionals, and we are the professionals in Weston County, to get their message out.
Exactly. I can't think of anybody else that does a better job. We put a lot of time and effort into getting all of the product out there and making sure that we reach people in as many avenues as possible. I don't think people understand how much time and effort that we put into those things. And it's most definitely more time and effort than we get compensated for.
No citizens' business in writing. For old business, we have Bent Sprockets MOU.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Council, no worries. I was just the drafter though, so.
No, we read through the draft and we were okay with the draft as well, if you guys didn't see any changes with it or modifications.
No, I just had a question. It says here that Vince Brockers have the right to apply for grants. What grants are available to you, Jim?
For instance, we just been awarded a $68,000 grant from Wyoming Outdoor Recreation for our old quarry trails. So that was part of our deal.
All right, for you guys. I didn't know that was that.
So that's just a small taste of what we can.
That is so cool. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it is.
That's all I had.
And then if there's any other grants that he would have to talk with the
Great,
city
yeah.
supervisor to make sure they don't have a conflict that we do with each part. So.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
What are you
It is.
gonna,
When we're starting, we just got the letter this week of approval to start. So within the next month, we'll probably start getting stuff done on that field quarry trail.
And I need to add that I had tons of ice cream.
Good.
So I think it was a great way. Some people didn't know where it was located.
Sure.
So we had to tell them how to get there. But they definitely enjoyed it.
So that's something that the club is definitely working on, and not just from the club. We don't make any money as the club, but bringing people in is what we are trying to do. And these cards are just an example. So our next campaign, so what the people that are aware, and this goes with our public relations, is we had go get a picture with a rock band at the old quarry trails, and people under 18 could get ice cream if they brought their picture to the Antlers or to the pizza bar.
I didn't know anything.
And my only complaint I had on that event is why was it limited to 18? And then just another thing that we just started with Taco John's too, is they're doing the, I can't remember what it's called now. Yes, the Roundup. So the Roundup now for the month of July at Taco John's, we will be getting a donation from Taco John's for that money too. So that's awesome, and we're trying to get those businesses, the people to see those businesses as well, so it's a win-win for both. And that's just something that Ben Sprockets is trying to do to help the community that's helping us do the wheel as well. So cards like that, flyers, flyers are getting to be old school. There's so many flyers on the bulletin boards around town. Who's reading them?
Are there any races in the future?
Probably next spring will be the soonest, quite honestly. So staying active, and again, looking for more grant possibilities for the backyard park. Also still going with the V and stuff like that. So we're ongoing, still growing.
How much was your grant, did you say you got?
$68,000. Yep. So we'd like to be able to pursue grants like that fit inside with Greg's work as well, and what he's getting grants for, so we're not conflicting. And then we would be able to use this MOU, this MOU to be able to show that we are in a working partnership with this project, that we're not just soliciting money out of the blue. That's the main thing that we'd like to be able to do, and help facilitate some of the work, as we volunteer on these trails. So one of the other events that we have coming up in August, of course, depending on this MOU, is we have trail days, community trail days, where we invite people to come help work, and it's pretty light work, for a morning on Saturday. And August is the backyard park, and we hope to have that as a big gathering of people. It might be more of a meet and greet and giving a general idea as opposed to actually moving much dirt, but that's something that we're looking at.
Do you think maybe that would be a good day to put the sign up
What day is that?
in August?
Let me pull my notes.
Because that would be kind of a cool thing to put the sign up that day too.
It is August 17th, and it'd be from 9 a.m. to 12.
I move that we approve the MOU between the city of Newcastle and Ben Sprockets Inc.
Second. We have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
I think this is fantastic, and you guys have already proved that you can leverage funding. So any help that we can get is wonderful. So thanks for all your hard work.
You bet. Glad we can do it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you, City Council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want these?
Unless you have a place you'd like to put them.
What were those
I have
dates
a-
again, Jeremy?
I'm sorry?
The dates for that.
August 18th, 17th, sorry, 17th.
Yeah,
9 a.m. to 12.
I'd like to add a little bit to, it's in the red sprockets. It's about their flyers and their maps. Last year and this year, Travel Commission, we've kind of spread them around. We got them at Custer Chamber. We have them down there at Edgemont. Edgemont is the trailhead for the Nicholson Trail. So we got them down there. If hikers come in, they'll see our pamphlets there. We also have them in Hot Springs. We have them up there at the Welcome Center on I-90, which we get maps from them and we give them all sorts of trail maps. And we're the only people around here, they tell us up there at the Welcome Center, is that we're the only people that have trails here in Wyoming, this side of Wyoming.
Wow.
All right, and so the more he can do, the more we can, promote it and get more tourism down here for the hikers.
Our maps have been stolen on a regular basis from the travel center, from the wall.
Hey, Mr. Perkins,
Don't
when
call
is the
it
next
get stolen. They're using it.
Well, they got a stack like this now, so.
Bruce, when's the next travel commission meeting?
It'll be first Wednesday, I believe, next month.
That's tomorrow, Wednesday the 3rd.
Next month. Next month.
Oh, next month.
What are you doing the day after the month? It's the first one you do this month.
So that would be the 7th of August.
They only did it quarterly, right?
Well, no, in the summer, in the winter time, we started doing quarterly, because things were so slow, but now we've picked up, we're doing once a month again for a short time, because we gotta get out, co-op advertising, bring money and everything else to people.
Starting next month?
No, at the end of the summer, and we haven't set a date to where we start going quarterly.
Because I mean, like they said, the first Wednesday of this month is this Wednesday.
It should be this Wednesday. I have to get with them, because sometimes it does change. Sometimes it goes to the second Wednesday. It depends if we can get a quorum or not. If we can't, then we just put it off a week and do it and do it.
We have the board committee, and I haven't gotten to attend one of your meetings. None of us have.
I think this one's supposed to be here in Newcastle this time, because last month it was in Upland. So we tried to swap around.
Where would you
I can
have
let
it?
you know.
If you held it, where would you have it?
Usually it's at the lodge.
Okay.
Here's
Thank
my
you.
number, Mr. Perkins. Will you give me a call if you can figure it out?
We're done?
Thanks.
Yep.
We're good?
Yep, thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Jeremy, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Moving on to new business, we don't have recognition on our agenda, but I'd like to give a recognition to the Ferguson family on South Summit. They have had a lot of issues in the past with complaints on their yard, and they have really done a lot of work.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen it?
And they have a new deck, they have flowers, they've really done a lot. There's a lot of cars still parked on the street, but their front yard looks really nice.
And the other van to a parking front yard.
Totally torn apart, and it looks terrible, Pam. I'm sorry, but it looks terrible.
The frame, the
Because
new
the
frame.
whole
that they have.
land,
Have you driven by there?
I've seen the nice stack in the closet.
I saw that too. You sure don't see it now. I'm sorry.
Because of the name.
I will not go with this. I mean, I'm not saying not to, but it's not good.
I'll drive by again, but when I went by,
I just don't think that that should be allowed.
it doesn't work. What's she not doing?
He's got everything, he's got all this torn apart and it's in that yard.
What's that?
I guess he's got a vehicle torn apart.
It was a frame on a trailer that obviously is inoperable. It was a vehicle frame, and there's more stuff accumulating in the driveway, and it's kind of headed the other direction.
I mean, it did look nice with the flowers and I did see all that and it was nice, but this, I don't think there's,
We're kind of airing their dirty laundry.
Yes,
here in
they
the
are.
middle of the
Yes,
meeting.
they are.
So we maybe just move on.
Yes, thank you. All right, going on to community reports, or committee reports. I did speak with Chief James Karen before our meeting. He said they're planning to still shoot off fireworks on the 4th. If it's not on the hill, it will be at the golf course, but they will know that in the next day or two. And as of right now, he is okay with the community to shoot off fireworks. What time does that go to, Chief?
The fireworks,
Yes.
I think they, what's that?
For the community to shoot off the fireworks,
Oh, it's noon to midnight.
noon to midnight?
Yes.
Okay. And he just wanted to reiterate to take precautions and safety and have water nearby, all the normal common sense. If anything is to change due to weather, or if they're out on a fire, or if severe dryness happens in the next few days, he will make an announcement to hold all of that, but as of right now, he's comfortable.
That's good news. I think a lot of people were asking what was gonna go on with the fireworks, so it's good to hear that
well,
we're gonna
and these
have.
little showers we've gotten has helped, so
Yeah.
hopefully.
Is there any other committee reports? The police committee is meeting tomorrow.
Again, I don't know when I can be there, I already talked to
Okay. Any other committee? Okay, moving to department head report, city attorney Dylan Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Other than the MOU, I did want to bring one thing to the council's attention. We had the Black Hills Power franchise agreement. There was a bit of confusion as to when the effective date was. We got that squared away and seeing that, I believe it's their chief officer had signed on June 20th. That agreement went into effect on June 20th, seeing that it was the last affixed signature. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Any questions for city attorney? Okay. City clerk treasurer Cece Tucker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to remind the council that the YDOT STIP presentation will be at 6 o'clock on July 15th, prior to the next meeting. And I had also sent an email out in regards to our service providers and the public officer training. There seems to be some confusion as to if they're required to have that training or not. I did contact the Department of Audit, and they directed that technically the nonprofit or 501(c)(3)s are technically, per their regulations, not required, but it could be our requirement that would stipulate that our service providers have that training.
So the question is do we want all of those who are receiving funds from the city to be required to take that training?
I don't think that it should be a problem to have them take the training if they're in a board setting. I think it would make sense that they know how to function as a board. And I know that 501c3s are required to have a board and have board meetings. So I think that it could be a requirement. I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
I don't feel, you don't need to be. I don't know, I mean, I guess we have to make all of them.
What would they gain from it?
Well, you took the training.
Yeah. And I thought for sitting around city councils and doing stuff like this, it was kind of a necessary thing. But I don't know, I think that's extending government a little too far.
That's fine.
I'm a conservative.
I think that what was brought up though is we're providing funding for some of these boards, and we want to make sure that they're behaving appropriately in the board setting and they're functioning the way that they're supposed to function.
Well, we can call them in to do that anytime we want. We don't.
That's why you're on the board committee.
What, I guess before we dip into it too deep, how much does it cost for the board training? Because I mean, if it's, I mean, 501c3s, nonprofits, they don't have a lot of money sometimes.
They charge $20 last time they did it.
$20 for a person? I
Okay.
mean, that doesn't seem out of line.
I believe it depends on what avenue they go through to get the training. Because like Tom, you did yours online, and I don't believe there was any cost to you
Not
for
a
that.
nickel.
When I did mine online through the Department of Audit, there was no cost either.
Not a nickel.
So making sure that we have a well-trained board that's using our money appropriately, and making sure that they're going through the training. Just sitting and taking an internet class and making sure that you have the information seems like a small price to pay to have an adequately trained board.
So when we were at the training, the Humane Society was there, Senior Center was there, Chamber was there, we were there. There was, I think, commissioners were there.
Key points within that training that gives them the insight that they're
So is this something that the council wants to require these entities to?
I mean, I guess like you said too, though, if it's not a state requirement for these boards, I'm on the fence. I need some more input here from the rest of the council, because part of me wants to say, yes, we should make it a requirement because they are asking for funding from us. But then part of me doesn't want to make a 501c3 a nonprofit have to go and do extra stuff, especially if it costs them money. Part of me wants to say, yes, we should make it a requirement because they are asking for funding from us. But then part of me doesn't want to make a 501c3 a nonprofit have to go and do extra stuff, especially if it costs them money. So I don't know which way to
So
go.
everybody on the board is what we're saying?
Yeah, like the board members for that nonprofit would have to take the training.
We have had problems in the past with, like Focus, that's one outfit that misappropriated funds. There's another one too, I can't remember what it was.
Do you think that that was because they didn't have adequate training? Or do you think there were just bad actors on the board?
I think there was no oversight.
So again, that's, we have the board committee now, and we're trying to provide oversight. We've been going to some meetings, you know. We need to make sure that we're getting in touch with everybody that's getting funding from subsidies from the city, so we can make sure that we at least know what they're up to, right? At least know who's on the board, and we have been trying to do that, so.
Well, didn't the lady at the training say that if anything, or any board like that is dealing with funds, they need to do the course?
Okay,
That's what the
I
lady
think we
said.
should make it a requirement.
She was the instructor.
Anybody that is getting funding from the city or getting a subsidy, a service provider, should have training.
Okay, I move that this city council require all of the board members of the people that we give money to and our service providers attend the, what do you call it? What's the official name? Public officers training schools and be certified by said organization.
I second.
Okay, now we can discuss it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Well, I think we did most of our discussion before that. Thanks, Tom.
Can I get some clarification real quick? So we're talking about board members. Would this leave like the ambulance service, Volunteers of America, Campbell County?
How about if we say board members and or officers? Can we say that, would that be helpful? Stacy, would that be helpful?
Can I add something to this, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
The one thing that I see being a problem in our communities is a lack of volunteers. Volunteer firefighters, volunteer EMTs, like especially, you know, you go to Upton and they can't snap an ambulance crew. Nobody wants to volunteer anymore. So one thing I guess I would caution you against is adding more requirements to a job that's already apparently not very desirable. That's all I have to say, I guess, but something to consider.
Thanks for noting that, Chief. So all of the, service providers that come in and ask for a subsidy all have established boards. So there, I mean, like Volunteers of America, I mean, I think that they should be providing or having the training. I mean, even if they aren't required, right? Because that's a big organization. I don't think that us requiring the training is gonna run anybody off. I mean, I don't think that that's gonna happen, especially with nonprofits that have been established. So, I mean, I don't think that the board having to go through training is gonna make an EMT not want to volunteer, right? Like, the board's the upper echelon, they're making.
You're not talking about the individual EMT or firefighter.
No,
Yeah.
we're just talking about
That
their
makes sense.
established boards that are conducting business for the nonprofit.
Okay.
But I really would like to make that part of the motion, that it could be the officers or the board of directors, because well, the Washington County Arts Council is a 501c3, it's a Wyoming corporation. We do have a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Now, if those four people did the officers training, then wouldn't that be enough, you think?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, so at least somebody is trained, right?
Pardon?
At least somebody would be trained,
Yeah.
and they would be able to provide leadership in that role. So you want to amend your motion?
So, can I amend that to? Okay.
She has it already on there.
Okay, good.
She-
Thank you.
She clarified that, so.
Thank you.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
those opposed, same sign.
I didn't dare vote against that, did I?
It was unanimous.
The last thing I have is, So Deputy Clerk Treasurer Vodopich has said that she will be retiring in August. We have had Amber redo in the office training and has done very, very well in that position. So I would like to request to offer her a full-time position starting January 2nd at $17 an hour to continue on her training. July, I'm so sorry. July 2nd, starting at $17 an hour with 1 year probation.
Your Honor, I move that this council approve Stacy's hiring of Amber at $17 an hour on a 1 year probation. Oh, what's her last name? That person.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Are you going to be doing anything further? We will get some. How long has she been with the city?
It's 10 years in August.
We're gonna have a going away party?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Be the same day as the open house.
Be the same day as the open house?
Yeah.
Same place.
Same place, same time?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for city clerk? All right, moving on to Public Works Supervisor Grayson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Stacy and I had reviewed the rate analysis a little more. I had a couple more questions. We talked with Carl Brown through a virtual meeting, and we have some more corrections to make on the rate analysis before we move forward with anything. I am putting together a presentation, PowerPoint presentation to present during a workshop would be the best option, I think. Gives the information prior to any decision making, then we can move forward from there. We are waiting for Carl Brown to respond before we can finish that up and set a date for the workshop.
The yards in Newcastle are far on,
Yeah, I know.
just saying.
We did cut the vegetation on the unimproved section.
Thank you.
Project has been completed. The paving was finished last week. The grade on East Main Street where the barricades are. What happened is the concrete is broken out from underneath the steel that supports the grates. And the grates were actually popping up and almost falling out of the grates. We've come up with a temporary fix. We're going to put some steel underneath it to hold it up until we can get a white dot. And you see who's going to do what about the actual drain boxes. The drain box itself is probably going to need some significant repair or replacement. It's a whiteout road, so I need to visit with them first before we make any decision on how to permanently fix this. Just to let the council know, July 3rd through the 12th, I'll be on vacation. The 7th through the 12th, I'll be completely out of cell range. So if you need immediate assistance, call Kirk Hagner's office.
Yeah, who's in charge when you're gone?
Stacy.
Foreman Justin King. Are there any questions about the reports?
I have a question about item 24-351 on claims that's coming up. And it was for a water truck from Farnsworth for $4,000.
Yes, in order to finish First Avenue and wet the gravel and ground properly, we had to rent a truck because when we went to fire ours up, the inlet casing of the pump broke off. We're assuming we must not have got all the water out of it and it snapped off over the way. We've had a pump ordered for 8 weeks now and we keep getting the runaround from Grimm's pump. But in order to complete, what's that?
It's not here from China yet. That's the problem.
Probably. Supposedly it's coming out of Fresno, California.
Same thing.
Yeah, to properly wet the gravel and compact it correctly, so we had a better road base for the asphalt to set on. We rent a water truck in order to do it. It's the only one we can find. We checked the 3-state area, we couldn't even find one to rent. So Farnsworth Services is kind enough to rent us a truck for a week.
Yeah, that's a very kind price for it too.
The other options weren't good. I mean, the gravel really needs to be wet in order to get good compaction.
I ran into another one. Okay, a tungsten drill bit, 24,320, and it was $1,229.74 for a tungsten drill bit.
Yes, that's a core bit, is what it is.
What's a drill?
Concrete and asphalt.
Okay. I just didn't know that.
It makes a bigger hole, about an 8 to 10 inch
Because
hole.
that leads us to the next one. An 8-inch DeWalt 20-volt cutter, $9,100. What's that? It says the 8-inch DeWalt. Item number 24,327.
I think that might be a fire department.
Oh,
Fire
yeah?
department charge is what I should have said.
Oh, that's, I apologize, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm lost on that one, Councilman. I
Okay,
apologize. I don't know what you're talking about.
what is this? $9,100 for an 8-inch cutter.
Okay, sounded good.
Had to put a hole on the fire truck, so they don't overthrow it. I have a question. What about, how's rodeo coming out?
Jaws for life.
Rodeo Street. Actually, I'm looking at a grant right now for the 2026 construction season. I'm gonna see if I can, part of Rodeo Street that is difficult is the street portion. Rodeo Street alone, the street portion is $1.2 million. The only way we get funding for that is through the capital construction grant, which we're only allowed to borrow 4% of our taxable base. Our entire taxable base, the loan we could get to do that is $1.1 million. So all we could take a loan out for is $1.1 million. The problem is it's at the treasurer's rate. Right now it's 4.92%. They can tack on another 2.5% on top of it. So it's not exactly favorable for that loan. There really is no other place to get funding for streets. Through the RAISE grant, through the PIL money, we do have the opportunity in 24, 25, and 26 to apply. Matter of fact, there's a notice of funding opportunity I've been reading on, trying to see if we are eligible for that. After I get back from vacation, I am going to call and see if we're eligible or not. If we do the 26 construction season, the publication of the information has to be out by October 2025, and the deadline for the application for the 2026 year is, we'd have to have the money obligated by 2030 and the funding spent by 2035.
Another question. I had a phone call from one of our residents in town about outhouses at Dow Park. Have you been able to draw plans for a new bid or?
Oh, bathrooms?
Yeah.
We applied for the funding. I'm trying to remember the date that, I believe it's like September 15th is when the LWCF board will review the applications. We will be looking at 2025 construction season.
That's what I told her.
Any other news?
Is that?
Any other news?
Oh, yeah, we did get our energy grant.
I'm like, waiting.
I was gonna say, are you gonna tell us a big?
Yeah, so the 2025 improvements project, total estimated cost was $2.1 million. We did get a $1 million grant from MRG. So,
End of the year.
yeah.
It's great.
That's
Remember, I'm the one asking to raise rates.
I know. All that training and going down there is really helping us.
Yep.
Good job, Greg.
Any other questions for
I have one. We have started sweeping streets. Gray.
I brought some pictures.
In front of Gray Edition, Gray Boulevard.
Yeah.
It was more a case of, really?
We're training in person.
Oh, why on Gray Boulevard?
It wasn't just Gray Boulevard.
It's everywhere. No, I need to visit with the person a lot more.
Well, we went down and around and down and around, and then all the rocks are on the sidewalk.
And the mud. And I took a picture of it for you. If you're going on vacation, I'm not gonna bug you, but I stopped that man after he went through what I call Lake Butte, right in front of my house in the street. And he throws the mud and the rocks right up in front of my driveway. So I drove up in front of him, stopped him. He said, oh, and he told me he's gonna redo that street 3 times. And I said, oh, wonderful, that'll take care of it. He gone, man. He didn't do it 3 more times.
They didn't do it on my street.
Well, don't you just kind of know sweet gravel roads?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Calls for service since June 18th. Newcastle Police Department, 247. Weston County Sheriff's Office, 103. Upton Police Department, 29. Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department, 6. Weston County Fire Protection District, 6. Upton Volunteer Fire Department, 4. Newcastle Ambulance, 23. And Upton Ambulance, 6. Wanted to let the council know we got a grant for a generator for this building. It will power the entire building in the event of a prolonged power outage for any reason. The primary reason we were able to get the grant is because dispatch was relocated into this building. It's for $40-some-odd thousand. The one problematic thing with it is we weren't able to get bids in time for the enclosure that needs to go around it for security reasons. So I may at some point be asking the city if we can pay for that enclosure to be manufactured to secure that generator. I believe he did include in the grant the platform to go underneath the generator because it has to sit on a level platform. And we're looking at putting it out behind the building under the stairs here. So there may be some additional funding that we would need to go with it, but it shouldn't be too shocking. Nothing like any numbers that Greg uses, so. I just wanted to make the council aware of that, and that's through I think it's an SHSP, it's a Homeland Security grant, and Emergency Manager Gilbert Nelson was the one that applied for it and was able to obtain that funding.
For additional funding, would that be like something from all entities since it's for dispatch or?
It could potentially be, yeah. The beauty of this particular generator is it will power the whole building, so it'll give the city office power and everything too in the event of a prolonged power outage. So I don't know if that'll become a point of argument or not.
Is this a large enough generator that it's gonna require like a separate fuel source?
So initially they just bid it for gasoline or diesel or whatever it is. Ideally you would have a dual fuel source for what this is for. So it would be nice to be able to set a propane tank and run a line to it. So it would give us the ability to fuel that generator for a longer period of time, because obviously the fuel tank on the generator itself is not we're gonna have to keep refueling it if, say, we're down for a week or something to that effect. But the idea behind it is it's more of a major disaster type of situation that is going to take our power out for days or weeks. So an alternative fuel source would be a good idea down the road. We're kind of taking it in steps, and there was a really short turnaround on that grant, so he didn't get everything in it that he wanted to. because he couldn't get the bids in time to put it into the grant.
Thank you.
And that's all I have for you.
I have a question. Are you gonna provide extra patrols up and down Main Street when they go put the bikes out in the middle of it because of the traffic hazards?
We'll provide as much as we can with the staff that we have. We're a little short in that area right now.
We have several speeders and reckless drivers that come down through there.
Yeah, we'll patrol it as much as we can, and I'll let the troops know that that's been an issue, so.
Okay.
Anything else? Thank you. Claims against the city dated July 1st, 2024.
I move to pay our bills.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Can I get a motion to leave regular session to enter executive session regarding Wyoming statute 16-4-405 A, B, II for real estate?
I move that we enter executive session.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, moving into executive session at 8:05.
Madam Mayor, I move that we accept the offer on the property at 720 Morrissey Road, contingent on the buyer removing line 217 on the additional provision. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We're having the additional provisions on line 217 removed because we want the buyer to comply with our current building codes and zoning codes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Dublin, will you be getting in touch with her, or should Sandy or Stacy or I?
It doesn't matter
You
either
want
way.
to call her tomorrow? Okay.
And it's, just to be clear, it is a counter offer, so.
Oh, do I need to put that in my motion?
I mean, it is contingent, so I mean, it could.
Your Honor, I move we adjourn.
Okay, well, I have one more thing. So you all have an invitation, I think, in front of you for an open house for the new VOA on August 7th, from 12 to 2, just so you're aware. Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
You have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Adjourned at 8:29.
In addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.